7. If you went for inputs, they all power on by source command. Now you do switching. There's 2 channels to the multi-zone. How many speakers should you run off the amp assigned that goes to zone 2? 2 max. Now what if we have... Forcing scaled resolutions is key in good HDMI signal integrity. They've certified the module. What I have seen is that when they have rolling firmware updates, not changes in the modules, but firmware updates, the rest of it not work right. So I mean, but it's all in this firmware update area. Which one comes first? Last thing that I was talking about is the ability of having if you are using IR, you do have an IR portal in the back. Good night. This is an easy way to set it up and configure it so that it's consistent across the board. Last couple of things, and this hasn't, I still need to correct this. What does change is now it's a 3-source 3-zone instead of a 2-source 2-zone, but you have an HDMI matrix built into the receiver. So you have parallel in the main zone, and then you have the triggers. You gain a photo input, believe it or not, it is coming back. So there's also Denon CI. Gave it a good stretch into the legs and played around with the unit there. The 4520 is a 9.2 receiver with 11.2 processing capability, which means you could do a center, left and right main, multi-zone to play the same content as the main and force them all to play the same signal, no delay. IP capable. By the way, our app will even control a Samsung or an Oppo. Pretty cool. It uses CEC for communication. And just the other year, we still did really well, even in a down economy in both countries, selling the DVD A1 UDCI. So $4,000 plus Blu-ray player, and we sold a ton. So there is a customer base out there, but better video scaler, 10-bit processing instead of 8-bit. Dual layer output and a monitor output if you have that reference customer that wants dual discrete feeds. The video mechanism is basically separating things out to discrete boards, so it's cleaner, it's more reference type customer. I already talked system and wanted something with the same cosmetics as a Denon AVR. It does everything that the other products out on the market do. The key with this one is it is a single zone player. So it's not a Sonos if it's a product that you're familiar with. This piece is not going to take all the zones and allow them all to mesh in place. You also need to cannibalize a Connect or something else to make it basically a standalone airplane player. And that's the way I ended up doing it at my place. I ended up having to buy just one unit, hook up an Airport Express to it, and now it's Canadian. No, just joking. So, briefly, contact info for you is 973-214-6015. That's my cell. It is a Jersey number, but I live in here.com. Or I'm on RC at M-Hi-Fi, or you can find me on Integration Pros at Matt Good. I thought it was just a free class. I'm giving you something back, okay? I know you invested in the dance, April 1. So I figured what's good for the goose is good for the gander, so I've opened up ci.marantz.com. By the way, they both go to ci.dm-holding. These are just support tickets. Once again, it's all about having one more line in the water. I want you to be able to get support every and any way possible. What I don't want you to do is sit on hold. Marantz knowledge base is not as full. Obviously, it just started back in April. So we take your support tickets and I'll start populating them. And we remove your personal information, so you're going to find all of the IR, IP 232. I know right now this exists out on the Marantz general site. We pulled it off the Denon site. All right, let's skip off of the. Oh, by the way, I just gave you the history lesson. So that's how it all got started. Every single product that D&M has that you all sell. As far as your assortment goes, there isn't a D&M piece. Nowhere through this am I going to lie to you and tell you that every seat sounds the same. How many of you have been to that demo? where they take the bucket, they put it over the speaker. Let's take a closer look at the room then. So here's 4 seats, okay? So you've actually lessened the surface area. So here's some good practices. Since we've already given you a better quality microphone, let's look at the key things first. How many of you use a tripod? Anyways, I found that some of our competitors have a fixed crossover for all channels. Ours on both Denon and Marantz, allowing you to apply. Episode 1 was at the Stag Theater. Let me know where that is. Skywalker Ridge. Keep the calculation there for starters. Here's the keys with it though. What if the room has the seating up against the back wall? So it's all compounded data that gives you more info for the main seat. But obviously you want to take as many good spots as you can. I'm going to have something coming up contributing to the playback at reference. They're actually taking it away. You want to calibrate it in a controlled environment first, and then allow the ambience to be different fabrics. Different materials have different acoustical values or properties. Yeah. Does anybody know the acoustical value of 30? Place it on a tripod. Step away. Don't double up on crossovers. How many of you have speakers in your subwoofer that has an LFE or a bypass or a THI for the year prior? So these are the most commonly asked questions, and people can't get them right. By the way, the PowerPoint slides, we got 4 different levels. You got off, day, evening, and midnight. Okay? I think they changed it this year. It's low, medium, and high. But this is looking at the evening, which would be the medium. Basically, the red is with no filter applied to it. What's cool about it is it looks at the input level versus output gain, and it's real time. In relation to the room comes on. Crank down the volume. Explosion's done. You bring the volume back up, you try to find the happy medium. Then a commercial comes on. It's all over the place. We've all experienced this. Yes, I know that your government has something in place that the customers don't either. This is basically reference playback no matter what volume you play the system at. So with all of these technologies, you have to run Odyssey first in order to gain access to it. But the beauty to it is that during the system, and I got to update this slide. So it's the 7007 now, as well as the 8801. Which we can't talk too much about, but I'm going to tell you some things about today. So the reason why there's so many Denons is Denon was the first company to have Odyssey built into it. All right, Denon was the first manufacturer to introduce Odyssey to the industry. Marantz has since added on pieces and will continue to keep adding. We'll have the ability of supporting Odyssey Pro. And we'll talk about how you get the software and stuff. So here's what it is. We've already talked about Odyssey. We've talked about multi-EQ, multi-EQ XT. We've talked about dynamic volume, dynamic EQ. This is just one more way of calibrating. When you have a system that's remotely local, microphone. Well, what they did do is they took a $5,000 B&K reference mic. They placed it inside an anechoic chamber. They measured the results and values of it, the overall performance of it, and they took that software curve and they applied it to the mic preamp. And then every mic is married to a mic preamp. So they can give you that performance without that price. Makes a lot of sense. Software suite's now up to 3.6. I need to edit that. And 3.6 just came out at CEDIA, so that gives you the ability of doing all of this year's products from D&M as well as from Integra or from NAD. So nice. All right. The Odyssey Pro software suite is basically the same algorithm that's now being used in all the IMAX theaters. So IMAX is also using Odyssey Pro for all their calibrations. So, you know, it's maybe one more little sales tip that you can use with customers. Well, you've been to theaters. One of the best theatrical experiences is normally an IMAX theater because it's not just about the video, it's about the sound. And it's a professionally calibrated on front end and on the back end. Hey, listen, everything that you say Odyssey does is great. It does a good job of it, but I want to be able to personalize the EQ. Why can't I tailor what Odyssey's done? You can in Pro. So you can go ahead and look at the full software suite and what each one of the speakers, and this is where you can really start to explain the system. Because they can hear the difference, but some people go, really? Smoke and mirrors? Did it really do that much? I mean, video is easy. Mode, memory. I've taken that with when I do like